All right, cool. So let's jump into our main topic. And this week, we're going to talk about the cheapest route possible to get into the shooting sports, whether it be IPSC, three gun, maple seed, or ORPS. We're going to tackle each of those one at a time and try and, convince the listeners that these things are accessible if you know how to navigate the system, let's say.
And you
So,
don't you
cheapest
don't
way.
buy and rebuy a couple of different times or
Yep.
buy the wrong stuff that's not going to do the thing.
I disagree. We're talking about the cheapest way to get in, and that's often going to involve buying something like Anarinko or Gersan. If you want to buy once, cry once, that's
Oh, we
not,
got
that's not what this
three
topic
different
is.
opinions, so we can throw three different ways at all of these, right?
Okay. So, when it comes to IPSC, so you need a gun, you need magazines, you need a belt, and you need ammunition. Starting with the ammunition, unless you can find a super duper sale like Kelly just did, the cheapest way is to
Kelly's stuff
scavenge
was
some.
115 grain, and that stuff won't make power factor. That Max Tech stuff
No.
won't make power factor.
Sometimes it does.
I've used
Sometimes
that
it
stuff and I
doesn't.
couldn't make power factor out of an F&S 5-inch.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, and maybe not that brand, but sometimes you can find a blowout sale on ammunition. And if you're just getting in, you either need to do that, you need to look for the cheapest possible sale, or you need to make friends with somebody at your club that reloads. And then you need to find somebody like me that's going to feel sorry for you and give you 1,000 pieces of brass or 2,000 pieces of brass. And then you go out and you buy some powder and some primers, and you have that buddy. You bring him a 6-pack. You give it to him when he's done reloading your ammo, not before. And you have your ammo reloaded for you. Bump some brass off somebody, and then go buy the powder, go buy the primers, go buy the bullets. Heck, cast your own bullets. If you really want to do it on the cheap, find somebody again in your club who's into casting bullets and get them to teach you how to do it, and go and do it yourself. There's nothing cheaper than turning wheel weights into
Now,
bullets.
I
These
think that
things can
like
happen.
running cast bullets and reloaded and that kind of thing when on the absolute cheap, I think that's where you're going to run into some reliability issues and some issues with those bullets not being casted properly and having flashing on them, or sizing or something like that. I wonder if, like, for a new person, like if you had a brand new person
It's
getting
easier
into
just
IPSC,
to get
would
manufactured.
you just say like go buy a 200 pack of Blazer brass and just run that stuff, 124 grain?
I'm sorry. I thought it was the cheapest route possible.
It is. And you have
Okay.
your
To
own
get
interpretation,
into.
and I got my own interpretation, which makes it interesting.
No, it's science. It's science and it's math. Turning wheel weights into lead bullets is the cheapest thing you can do.
Correct.
Okay,
Now,
what was the other piece? Cheapest? Yes, but to get into.
well, you need the bullets, and that's the cheapest way to get bullets.
But
is the
probably somebody's not going to
cheapest.
go and do all of that just to get into the sport. Maybe they don't like it. So
Nope. And so it's not for everyone. If somebody in my area wanted to do it, they have access to people who have access to these things. So chances are this is not a viable solution for you. But if it is, if you've got somebody who is experienced and can either do it for you or show you, that's the cheapest. Followed by just buying the components and making your own, followed by buying ammo on sale.
Right.
Those are your cheapest things.
Yeah.
Now, holster, mag pouches, you've got a couple of different options. This, I will say, like what Adriel said a while ago, buy once, cry once. You can upgrade guns, but if you don't buy the right belt and holster and pouches, you're going to buy something that either doesn't work or doesn't last. Now, people upgrade their belt and stuff all the time. All of a sudden, they don't like Sierra Speed pouches, and they want to upgrade to double alpha pouches, or they want to upgrade to ghost pouches, whatever. You can scour the internet for quality used stuff. So you could, instead of buying a brand new belt, brand new pouches, buy someone who has a belt that's no longer needed. Buy something from someone who's getting out of the sport. When I got in,
sometimes you find those guys on CGN that are selling the whole kit, the belt,
Yep,
the holster,
that's how I
the
got it.
mags, the mag pouches, the gun. You can get it all at pretty good pricing because all that stuff costs, like, it adds up, right?
Dude, listen to this. When I got in, what happened was someone left the sport, so one of the guys in the club bought him out in hopes that somebody new would come in and they would be like, "Here, Trevor, here it is, all one shot.
Put this
I
on.
got it. You ready
Put
for
this
this?"
on.
Yeah. I got the range bag that I still use today. This is going back 2011. I got the range bag, a Sierra Speed belt with Sierra Speed pouches, and a Sierra Speed race holster.
Mm-hmm.
5 magazines and a Glock 34 that already had a trigger. Sorry, Glock 35 that already had a trigger job on it for $1,100.
Nice. Yep.
That's good.
Hard to beat that. So the other way you could go is there's a lot of airsoft IPSC gear out there. Some of it good, some of it not good. It's very important to ask questions before you buy something. You don't know how many times someone sends me a link to a product and says, "I just bought this. Is it good?" You did that out of order.
That's what
You're
they do with my
supposed to
YouTube
send me the
videos
link.
too. I think they buy it first and then they go Google it to see if it's any good.
Like like the guy the other night, you were doing a video about
That KDEX
I forget what it was. KDEX rifle, and somebody's like, "What's the best pump action shotgun in Canada?" Kind of unrelated to this particular video. Anyway, when it comes to the airsoft stuff, holsters, I've got one, still have it in the drawer. Modified it to work with a Glock. Mag pouches, good. Muffin's still running a set of airsoft mag pouches.
That's what I'm running.
2
sets.
The belts. There you go. So chances are the Sierra Speed airsoft pouches are made in the same company as the Sierra Speed regular IPSC
I
pouches.
think the actual
can't tell the
plastic is different because you had yours
Feels different.
at my place and I compared them side by side with mine, and the plastic on yours felt quite a bit better.
Okay. And yet you still have yours going without any problem. Right? So
it's a finished thing.
So if you get the right ones, IPSC airsoft mag pouches may be great, but do not buy an IPSC airsoft belt.
Correct.
That's where you notice the difference in quality. When it comes to an IPSC belt or a 3-gun belt, you want the stiffest belt possible. Double Alpha is the best, Ghost, then Sierra Speed. That's the hierarchy I go. So try and either find one that's used but still in good condition, or buy a brand new one. Now, I just took a brand new belt to the shoemaker to have the Velcro replaced because the Velcro that was on there wasn't good right from the factory. It looks like some kind of knockoff belt, but it is super stiff, but the Velcro was garbage. So I actually tore the Velcro off removing some mag pouches one time. And he's replacing the Velcro for me. So these things can be rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So,
but they're like a belt's $50. Buy a good belt for $50. Don't buy the $20 one off eBay because.
Can you get a IPSC belt for $50?
What's that?
Where can you get a good IPSC belt for $50?
What do the double
I'll buy
alpha
one right
ones go for on MD Gardner?
now. He's selling his own brand. And they're on par with double alpha, but they're not double alpha. If you buy real double alpha, you're going to spend probably by the time you get it into
70.
Canada, $100.
100.
He has double alpha pro belts for $75. Yeah.
MD Gardner.
Yeah.
75. So what's 75 plus tax and shipping? $100?
I don't know. It's
not $50.
Yeah. Well, I bought mine a while ago.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, these things go up.
Mine.
Now, his premium belt here, that's the one that I had to replace the Velcro on, or is it? No, that's the one I'm using on a different setup. It is a good belt. Yeah, the blue and black double alpha one below, that's the one that is very similar to the one that I had to get the Velcro replaced on. Yeah, so it's $75 plus tax and shipping, so it's $100 for a double alpha belt all day.
Yeah.
So Sierra Speed belt, way more affordable than that. So, and then gun, same thing. Buy a used gun and buy a gun with an excellent reputation that's going to last. You can pick up a used Shadow 1 for $650 if you look hard enough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you can't buy a brand new Glock for that. And you're better off buying a used Shadow 1 for $650 than you are buying a brand new M&P.
Well, what about this? What about if you've got the money, the Shadow 1, because that's good enough to you're not leaving anything on the table there for hitting up a match or anything like that. If you
Not
don't
at all.
have the money, a used MP is going to be $450 these days, and that's going to be the kit
Right.
with the holster and
Yep.
a mag pouch that holds 2 mags, which is not really that useful, but at least the holster and 3
Yep.
mags, right? And then when you're done with that one, because you bought it used, you're going to take it out, shoot it. You're not going to modify it. You're just going to take it out and shoot it. And then once you want to upgrade, you're going to take it and sell it for exactly what you paid for it. Because pistols don't really depreciate. Once you buy used, the depreciation's not going to be there anyways, right? You're not going to wear it out.
Yeah. The only reason the Shadow 2 is down in price, or the Shadow 1 is down in price, because the Shadow 2 has been out for so long. So,
Yep.
you buy a Shadow, you could buy a Shadow 2, and you're not losing a lot on that when you resell it. And if you buy that, what you just said about the M&P also applies to the Shadow 1. If you buy a Shadow 1 today for $650, you take your black badge, you shoot a year of IPSC, and you decide next year you want to upgrade to Tanfo or say, I don't know, Phoenix Redback, you can certainly do that, and you'll still get your $650 out of your Shadow 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice buying guns that their used price is their used price pretty much no matter what, and a Shadow 1, that's going to be the used price. As long as you don't dick around with it and modify it and that kind of thing, just leave it stock and just shoot it, it's going to be worth that when you sell it. You generally don't get any money out of accessories and that kind of thing, or mods.
No, you don't get your money back out of that stuff. So, like, let's say my Dan Wesson, I took all the factory parts off of it, put them in the box, and put a bunch of STI parts on. I would be giving those STI parts away. Like my Tanfoglio, for example. I sold a 9mm Tanfoglio for about $100 less than what the retail price of the stock gun was, but filled with STI parts. I could have removed the STI parts, put all the Tanfoglio parts on, and still got the same money for it, and just put those parts in a drawer for another build at another time. But I wanted the gun sold now, so somebody recognized that they were getting a gun and $500 worth of parts for free.
Yeah.
So,
you could probably get into. So what's your budget here? $800 to $1,000, and you're done. You're in.
Yeah. And and if you're in no hurry, you can buy everything used. If you're a picky shopper and wait and bide your time, right?
Put a couple lowball offers out there on CGN.
Yep.
Not lowball,
Classic.
but like lower than what they're asking.
Yeah. All they can do is, well, that's not true. They can just not reply. But another cheap route is if you want to shoot Classic Division, you get a Norinco 1911. They work. They're like the Norinco AR-15. They're rough, but they work.
They won't really drop the mags the best without that's one you'll have to mess around with.
Completely fixable.
Yeah, it's all fixable, but you have to put it into time, right?
Well, we've done nothing to Marcel's magazine release. It's the factory magazine release. I cross-threaded a new button on there to extend it for him, and just like, this is one thread pitch, this is another one. Loctite. I jammed it in there.
It's
what
redneck.
It's
redneck Loctite.
Yeah.
When you cross-thread it,
right?
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. But it's never needed an ounce of tuning. We bought the Brownell 1911 single stack mags, which are basically Dawson's. You put them side by side, you cannot tell the difference except for the color. We didn't have to do a thing to it. So some of them just work.
Sweet.
And the ones who don't, find yourself a 1911 pistol smith and have them tune it up for you. And they're $300.
Yeah.
Don't get Andy to tighten your slide though.